What's up, everybody? It's AJ with eTrail.com. Today we're going to be checking out this Fender mounted jerry can holder from MORryde. Now this is going to be a passenger side version, and we're going to put it on our 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. So it's going to hold it really nice and tight. I can shake the whole Jeep back and forth. You can see there's no rattling here whatsoever or on the bracket. It's mounted on there. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay with you wherever you go driving. So have a driver's side version as well if that's what you're looking for. You can get both of them, put them on there. So you see that it mounts right here. There's existing holes. It even goes around the antenna. You don't have to remove it or anything. There's actually a cutout on the passenger side one that goes around the antenna. So that's going to be the only real difference is on the driver's side. It's not going to have that cutout. It's able to hold Nato or Scepter style gas cans up to 5 gallons. You can see it fits in there really nicely, and you can even don't have to sacrifice your door opening. That's one of the things I was worried about, but you can see I'm going to open the door all the way. There's no contact whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about it. It includes a ratchet strap with it, so that way you can keep your gas can tightened down, and it's got the holes to run that strap through. So you can see the hooks go through here. There's going to be one on the back side as well. And then you have the side walls that just add more strength to this all overall. So you don't have to worry about it causing issues. There's even some rubber stoppers here on the back that just keeps that rattling down too. So that's nice. So even if it isn't as tight as we have it and it moves a little bit, you don't want to hear the metal on metal. So you're not going to, because there's a foam pad at the bottom and the nubs on the back side. With the gas can removed, we have a better look at it. You can see the rubber stoppers I was talking about before and how they stick out a little bit more than these bolts do. So that's just going to prevent that metal-on-metal contact. You won't have any rattling or touching there. The gas can will hit here and never mess with these bolts. Same can be said with this mat at the bottom. You can set it down on there, and then there's no metal down here. So again, no rattling. Now it does have an adhesive on the back that you can peel off and stick it permanently, but this isn't staying on here, so we're not going to do that today. We're going to go from side to side. Looks to be 14 inches from here to here. Then from back to front, it's going to be about 7 inches from here to here. And let's look at how long it's going to stick out from the side of the Jeep. Looks like it's a little bit over 8.5 inches, but not by much. So that's not too bad. If you look at the fender well, it's only a little bit further out than that. So I don't think you're going to hit much or have any problems with how far it sticks out. It was not that bad of an install. It's going to be the same way on the passenger side as it is on the driver's side. Again, the only difference is going to be the cutout for the antenna. You won't have that on the driver's side. But again, it wasn't too bad. We just had to remove some bolts and we had to figure something out to get to work. Follow along on how we did it. First step of getting them installed is we're going to install the jerry can holder to the bracket. Now to do that, you look at your instructions. It's going to tell you the different bolt patterns that work with the jerry can. Now we're going to use, you have these options of these two holes. You see them circular and kind of at an angle at the top and the bottom. We're going to use the topmost holes in both sections. That just gives us a little bit more room with our jerry can. We got kind of a big one, so we want to make sure it sticks out away from the mirror. So these are the ones we're going to use. I'll hold the bracket up here to the back and kind of show you what I'm talking about. You see you have the circular holes here and there. That is what we're matching up. So I kind of got it on the edge here. Line up those holes just like that. So go ahead and do that through. Now I'll come back around, add the washers and the nuts to help hold it in place. It hangs on there pretty good, so it's not that much of a struggle, but being on the edge of the table, I just want to go ahead and get it hand tight. I'm going to come back with my wrench and ratchet and tighten it down. With the bracket put together, now we can come back to the front of our Jeep. We're going to move these 3 bolts right here, and that's going to allow us to get a little bit more out of this to pull it apart. So when we add our J-nut on here, we just have more room to work. So just come here. Pull it out. I'm going to set it here on the fender. There we go. Those removed. Should be able to pull this back just a little bit more. and get some more room. Couldn't get much out of it, so we removed an extra one here. Still couldn't get much out of it, so we came back up here, removed these here, here, on the side, and then two more here in the door frame, which allowed that panel to separate a little bit better. This one and this one down here. With those removed, I took a pry bar, wrapped it in a paper towel just to give it some padding, that way it didn't damage anything, because we're going to get in there and pry on it. And we were able to get this down in here and pry against the Jeep and kind of push it out. We were able to push it out just enough to get this started on there, and then we can further push it on into place. With it latched in there, you can unpry it, move this up, and now it's on there. We put all the bolts back that we took out to pry this out. You can see they're all been replaced except for this one, because this one needs to come out anyway. The bracket's going to install it there as well. Now there's one more we need to remove, and it's on the inside of the door here. The one we need to remove is going to be right here. It's the top bolt on the bottom bracket. So we're going to take our jerry can assembly here, set it into place. Lines up with the holes. Use my knee kind of to hold it. And I want you to hand tighten the bolts back in to hold it in place. So I'm going to get it lined up and get it started. And just to point out, this one's the one that came with the kit. The other ones are going to be the existing bolts that were on the Jeep. Now we're going to go back and tighten them all down. If you look at our bracket, there's a hole here. That's for a completely optional self-tapping screw. Again, it's optional. We're not going to install it on ours. It's on here nice and tight. I can shake the whole Jeep back and forth. I don't think we're going to need it. After getting this installed and replacing all the bolts, we're ready to add these few last things. We got these rubber nubs here that act as kind of protectors when we set our jerry can in there. That way this doesn't clang on the metal. This is kind of a little buffer for that. You just push it in there. There's a little notch that should catch. Just got to get it past that initial part. Looks like it's almost there. Just got to pull on just a little bit more. There we go. Now it's in there. It's a nice mat. We're just going to set here in the bottom. Now it does have sticky, so you can peel this back and actually stick it there permanently, but this is going to stay on here, so we're not going to peel that off. I'm just going to set it here right in place. That's all there is to it. It wasn't too bad of an installation. There was just a little bit that they kind of left out of the instructions, but hopefully you watched what I did. Now you figure it out. You don't have to take the time to figure it out like we did. Well, with it installed, it's going to hold the jerry can in place. I can shake the whole Jeep back and forth. I'm not afraid of it going anywhere. I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.